welcome back to my channel. I'm Jules, and I thought today I would show you the books that I was able to get through the past couple months, and then the hopefuls that I have for December and the end of the year. Now, I'm a high school English teacher, so I don't get a lot of time to read during the school year, but Christmas break is coming up, winter break, and I want to get in as much reading as I possibly can during that time. And I also would encourage my students to do the same thing. But without further ado, let's go through the books that I was actually able to go through. I was also in a big book slump, reading slump, from You Don't Belong Here by Megan Miranda. I don't know what was up with that, but I just ended up in a book slump. Um, so that did also affect how much I've read. Um, but I started out with Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I was really excited about this book because I loved her Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I loved all those characters. And so I was really excited about this. It's a paranormal romance about Colin Cartwright, and she doesn't want to go back to her hometown, but of Sweetwater Peak. Um, but things aren't going so great for her work wise, and her family's losing their antique shop, or they're thinking of selling it, if I remember correctly. Um, I can't remember a lot about this book because it just wasn't my favorite. I mean, it was fun to read at the time, but I couldn't tell you everything that happened in it. But then there's also this guy Brady, Brady Cooper, and um, there's no secret reason why he decided to uproot his life, suddenly move to Sweetwater Peak, but he needed a change of pace. I feel like we didn't even actually learn anything about him. This is a dual POV book between him and Collins, and I just felt like he was kind of a flat character. But I did really enjoy Collins and her relationship with her twin sister, and the fact that she can see ghosts and talk to them. Um, but there's also a thing with that too, like, you know, why she can do that, or stuff that's happening along with that. I don't want to be too much of it if you want to read it. I do think that it was fun. I just don't think that it didn't keep my attention that very for very long. Then the next book I read was Macbeth. Well, I guess it's a play. And I made my students read this, and I had read it back in high school, and I decided to reread it along with them. There's not much to say except that, this is a classic. I gave it, I think, a 3 star because it's not my favorite of Shakespeare. My favorite's Hamlet. I feel like there was a lot more in Hamlet, in terms of action and, romance, everything. Macbeth was, it is what it is. I think maybe my favorite character might be Lady Macbeth. Let's be honest, she's like the original girl boss. She got stuff done. Although she was a little harsh to Macbeth. But, there was a lot of the supernatural elements that I thought was really interesting. So that's that one. And then what really got me out of that book slump was One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. I absolutely love this. I adored it. I ate it up. It was so much fun to read. And you follow Elspeth, I think that's how it's pronounced. And there's like this monster in her head. And I don't know. I don't want to give anything away because I think everybody should read this. And going in blind, I think, was one of the best decisions that I made. But it's amazing. It's amazing. And I love the character of Raven. I think he's one of my top 5 favorite book boyfriends. He's the best, kind, considerate, but also, a little bit of tough love type of situation. But it's got, a little bit of comedy, it's got fantasy, it's got everything you could ever ask for. in a book. And then, with that said, I had to pick up the sequel to Twisted Crowns. Again, one of my favorite books. I gave One Dark Window 5 stars, gave Two Twisted Crowns 5 stars. It was just amazing. And it doesn't, I mean, it's not like a marshmallowy, cozy type of a book, but it still gives you everything you absolutely want, you know? And I liked in this one, we got more perspectives, more of what's going on in the story with other people, not just Elspeth. But like, we get Raven, we get his cousin, what's his name? I think it's Elm, and her cousin also, who, you think she's kind of just like this, only cares about her looks, but there's more to her, and I really love that we got to see that in here as well. Now, Frankenstein. I also was making my students read this by Mary Shelley because it's a classic, and we're going through British literature. I feel like you can't go through British literature without reading Frankenstein. And everyone knows the story of Frankenstein, right? It's tragic, it's dark, it's romantic, in not like a romance love type of way, but in like that classic romantic way of life where you're like obsessed with something and then you end up, not really liking it. It's hard for me to rate classics, but I believe I gave this one a 3 star as well. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but I did enjoy it. Now, on to the books. Well, I'm currently reading All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the third book in the Natural series. And I'm reading this alongside my parents. My mom is also an English teacher, and she teaches junior high and lower high school level English classes. So we're always looking for books for us to reference or to recommend. Um, and we thought we would read this book series. And I loved The Naturals, and I loved Killer Instinct. And I just started All In because every bookstore I went to was sold out. So, and I finally just found it. And I'm really excited. Oh, maybe I'll talk about the book series in another thing. But so far, that's my current read. Those were the books that I did read. And I feel so sad because I wish I could have read more, but there was that book slump and then work, pesky work. Now for the books that I'm hopefully going to read this winter break. Now, I keep hearing about The Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Everybody I have heard talk about this has loved it. And so when I saw it at the bookstore, I had to pick it up. I don't really know much about it. And the back says a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead, thrusts suddenly into power. 3 fierce young women of Rattan, the Queen's premier guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself, a dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse scheme of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. I think that sounds amazing. So I'm excited. I really hope I can get to this one. Um, Another book, I'm not really too sure, but I did read, well, if I can get it. I read Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. It was like in the middle of the end of summer going into autumn, and I picked this book up. I thought it was like an autumn read would be fun, and then it turned out it wasn't an autumn read, it's a summer book, but it looks autumn in the cover. Like it's got the leaves in everything, but but it wasn't one of my favorites. And I happen to have the gingerbread bakery book, which is supposed to be a Christmas one. And um and it follows Annie, who I did meet and read in the Cinnamon Bun bookstore, and I enjoyed that character. So I thought this would be interesting. I don't know. The storyline in the other one wasn't super captivating. So I'm hoping um, if I do get to this, that the story is a little more interesting. If you've read it and you have thoughts on it, leave it in the comments so I know what I'm getting myself into. Now, the next one I want to get to is Starter Villain by John Escalzi. Everyone at the bookstore when I was browsing had said it's so funny, it's an autumnal book, you have to read it, and they really sold it to me. I felt like I had to read it. And everything about it seems really interesting. It says inheriting your uncle's supervillain business, and then it mentions cat spies. I'm all for cats. I love cats so much. So I'm really excited about this book. I wanted to read it last month, and then I just never got to it because I was always busy working. So, another book. This has been on my TBR for quite some time. I think because I'm a little scared that it won't live up to hype in my head. But The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. This, it's a Mulan retelling. And growing up, Mulan was one of my favorite Disney movies. I loved the music, I loved the storyline. And so I'm really excited about this book. It says, infused with magic and romance, this exhilarating fantasy inspired by the legend of Mulan follows a young woman determined to choose her own destiny, even if it means going against everyone she loves. Just that line alone, I was obsessed. And I want to read it. I want to get to it. I'm just, I hope it's everything that I want it to be. Another book, I had watched the series of this, and my uncle said that he had read the book series too and said that it was good. So it's A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, and it follows, what's her name? Oh my gosh, Diana Bishop, who is going to Oxford for her studies, I think. Yeah. And she finds out that she's a witch. And then there's obviously the vampire in it, Matthew Claremont. And I mean, I'll insert a picture of the guy who plays him in those TV series. Who wouldn't fall in love with him? But I'm really excited about this one too because I loved the TV show so much, and I love the actors in it, and I could picture them when I'm reading it. So, um, and because I fell in love with Rachel Gillig's writing, I had to pick this one up. The Night, The Night and the Moth. And again, I've heard a lot of great things, and I just never have gotten the chance to read it because I've been busy. And hopefully, I don't know much about it, and I kind of want to go in blind because that's what I did with One Dark Window. And I feel like I'm overly ambitious with this hopefuls for December, but I've got so much time. I hope that I can get through them. And then Wild Revenants by Rebecca Ross. Again, I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I know I don't know. I heard it's like a prequel to the Divine Rivals. Um, so I'm really excited about that. This isn't like the really nice edition. Although I really do love this cover. It's so gorgeous with the flowers. And then there's a sword on the back. So pretty. Okay. Now, it may not, I don't know if it does or doesn't seem like it, but I do enjoy a good Stephen King novel every once in a while. Personally, I have read The Shining, which my friend got me for a birthday a few years ago, and then I read It, which was intense, very long, but it was, I wouldn't say it was one of my favorites, but I did enjoy it. Um, and so I got The Institute by Stephen King. My mom has it well as well, and we were supposed to read it together. And I kind of, I know the TV show came out of it. I saw it on Amazon Prime, I think. Um, every time I see the trailer for it, I'm like, oh, I have the book. I should read the book first and then watch the show. And then I just, I haven't gotten around to it. But sounds really interesting and steal him away from his suburban Minneapolis home, an operation that takes less than 2 minutes. Luke will wake up in a faraway room that looks like his own, except there's no window. And outside his door are several other doors, behind which are several other kids with special abilities. I love stories about kids with special abilities. I think that is a lot of fun. Kind of reminds me of like X-Men, which was another one of my favorite movie series when I was younger. I kind of always wish I had powers. Doesn't everybody? So that seems like it would be fun to read. And then this book, I always love a dystopian, and I heard this is like dystopian mixed with fantasy. I don't really know, but Silver Elite by Danny Francis. And I got this special edition. Look at the sprayed edges; they're so pretty. So it says, "My name is Ren Darlington. I'm hiding who I am. I've been hiding who I am my entire life. Today will be no different." Gosh, that just sounds so good. And maybe I'll get, as soon as I'm done with All In, maybe I'll pick this book up next because it just sounds too good not to pick up. Now, um, yeah, that's all of the books. Oh my gosh. But I think I am a little over ambitious. Hopefully I can get through at least half of them, if not all of them this year. If you've read any of those books and you have something to comment, please leave them in the comments. If you want to, say like it was good or you didn't like it, or if you have other books you want to recommend, please let me know. Or what are you reading winter time, this winter season? What are you ending the year with? I'd love to know. Thank you for watching this video. Please like the video and comment and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos.